Are we live? Yep, we are live once again. So, hello there to all my followers of darkness, shadow scavengers, villain aficionados, and just for this occasion, music lovers also. Here's your host, as always, your good old Lord of Shadows, with of course what I always say, one of his most trusted, favorite fellow council members, TK, the lucky bastard, here with me as always, and welcome to another Shadow Council episode 43, more precise. This time, we're gonna go off the cliff for a little bit, okay? This time we're going off the cliff.
Which is different than what we normally do.
Ironically, yes. Ironically, it is. But this time we decided, you know what? We're going to try something new, something fresh, something on this channel you never seen before so far. But, it was TK's wish to talk about this particular topic. So as you can see from the title of the video and also from our panel right here, we're going to talk about one of the most famous, ever, like, boy bands, Big Time Rush. Yeah, so sadly, no, it's not going to be New Kids on the Block. It's not going to be Boys Who Cries. We're going to talk about Big Time Rush. Now, are they like number one or not? I don't know. Because I will say right off the bat, okay, I'm not going to beat about the bush right here. My knowledge of Big Time Rush is very near to my neighbor, which is zero. very, very near down there. The only, I know they're a boy band, and I mostly that I know when it comes to Big Time Rush, what I know about them is basically from the Nickelodeon sitcom they did many years ago. That I used to watch in my elementary and high school days on the Italian channel. So that's it. When it comes to songs, when it comes to private lives, when it comes to their names, don't ask me anything. Because this time, which is very rare, but this time I'm going to leave the wheel to the bastard here, TK. Because he is a massive Big Time Rush fan, nerd, knowledge library, whichever you prefer. So without any further ado, I'm going to let you lead the way, Professor.
Okay, so let me think where to start. So, Big Time Rush. I'm going to make sure I get these dates right. Give me one sec. I'm going to make sure I get the dates right for the actual show. So,
well, we're starting pretty well.
So let's start with. Hang on, I clicked the wrong thing.
I just hope there are no red lights on your clicking.
There we go. Okay. Okay, so some background about Big Time Rush. So it was created by Scott Fellows, who was the things that I think he's most recognizable for is of course, Big Time Rush, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, The Fairly Odd Parents, which I didn't realize he was involved in that, and then also Johnny Test. Those are like the big ones. Now Big Time Rush, so it originally started in 2009 and ran till 2013 on Nick. And so the basic premise of it was that the band, so I'm trying to think how to explain it so it's not confusing. So the band, they play fictional versions of themselves. And actually, just a little side note, it was, I think, one of the few shows on Nick, which I like this element, that it didn't have a laugh track. And because those laugh tracks get really, really, really annoying for me. But it was one of the few shows. It was kind of it's a comedy. And so
it's Nickelodeon. What did you expect?
So they play fictionalized versions of themselves. And the premise is they play 4 hockey players from Minnesota who are selected to form a boy band by Gustave Leroy, who has some serious anger issues.
Oh yeah.
And that's an understatement, but that's part of the comedy. But anyhow, and
He
so
he's basically a walking volcano.
yes, and so I mean, it's a little bit cliche. There's 4 in the group. There's like a cool, level-headed one, smart one, pretty boy, and sort of a dimwit. And of course, they live with Kendall's mom in LA. And it so that's the show. The show ran for about 4 seasons on Nick. And it also had a movie, Big Time Movie. Now Big Time Movie, I'm going to get in a little bit of trouble talking about that because so that was like sort of like a knockoff on like a spy like a spy movie. And they did Beatles covers for that movie. And I'll probably get some hate for saying this, but the Beatles covers weren't bad. I didn't mind them. If you have any hate mail for me for that, my name is FRC, and you can address it to FRC at in the bathtub.
Oh boy, are we gonna get some negative waves coming at us right now? Ooh, how are we gonna do that?
Oh boy. But no, in all seriousness, the music is good. In all seriousness, the music is good in that movie. I mean, it's not as good as the original. By the way, don't send any hate mail to FRC. He's a good guy. But anyhow, Big Time Rush. So the movie, it's like I said, it's like a knockoff like of a spy movie. And the music, like they have the Beatles songs, which it's interesting to see how they fit in there. It kind of works. I mean, again, they cover the Beatles songs. And for me personally, I kind of like that. I kind of liked how they did it. I mean, it wasn't the Beatles, like it wasn't as good as the Beatles are, but it wasn't bad. I mean, it works. So they had the movie, and then so the show ended in 2013. And then I need to make sure I have the dates right. So the show ended in 2013, and there was an actual series finale for it, which is kind of rare with TV shows like this, especially on Nick. A lot of
Yeah.
shows nowadays kind of like they just die. Like Victorious, for example, that had like no series finale. So, but this one actually had a good series finale. So it had that was back in 2013. And then fast forward to I think 2020. I think it was during COVID. They started to put out Big Time Rush started to put out like acoustic versions of their songs, like not like for sale, but like on their Instagram. I think their first one was Worldwide. Um, and like the internet blew up and went crazy. So then they put out a new single in 2021. I think they had a couple singles in 2021, including some re-recordings of some of their older songs, and then some acoustic versions, which the acoustic versions were really good. And then I'm trying to think what they did. Oh yeah, and then in 2020, I need to look at the date again. In 2020, what was it? Was it 23 or 22? 2023. Okay. So in 2023, they put out a new album, and I should have said whenever they were on the show, they put out like companion albums for the show. So the album they released in 2023 was their first album like without the show, like post show, which was interesting. Um, I think, I
Can I
mean,
ask you a question?
yes.
Okay, since you're taking the wheel this time, so my first question would be this: uh, did Big Time Rush, like as a band, I mean, did they originate through the sitcom, or they existed way before the sitcom?
No, so they originated through the sitcom. They were pretty much what's interesting about them is they're essentially a Nick like production. I mean, a production, a Nick creation. They're a Nickelodeon creation, um, which is kind of makes it a little bit more surprising that they're actually good because I feel like a lot of the bands that or a lot of the musicians that come out of some of these channels are like they're fine for like pop music and like kids and stuff, but like, they don't really translate like as a
Mhm.
band or like as an artist like outside of like the channel. Um, but I think that these guys did. So the band started with the show, and yeah, so the band started with the show, and then I should have said whenever they finished their show back in 2013, a lot of them put out like solo music. Kendall had a side band called Heffron Drive. James and Logan put out um, singles themselves, and then Carlos put out a couple songs himself, and then he also just made a new band the past like 2 years called Kingsman. Um,
Mhm.
so they all do like individual music too. Um, but it's interesting because they really are a Nickelodeon creation.
So you're telling me that because of the sitcom, that's how Big Time Rush basically was born as a band.
Yeah, yeah,
That's interesting. I agree with you. Mostly when you do like a show like that, where basically you're talking about like a fictional band. In this case, like with the Big Time Rush. Now, usually, I do agree with you. Like usually they don't last very long. So it's really surprising they kind of still still going at it. Even after the show ended and everything. Like I mean, so yeah, I'm really surprised that kind of like Nickelodeon project was kind of like his overall their overall origin story. Let's put it that way.
well
Mm,
what's interesting is so I mean they kind of jumped on board like back when like I think it was the year 2021. A lot of bands and TV shows they started with like the whole like revival craze. Um, so they kind of just jumped on board with that. Now I think that fans had been kind of like clamoring for that for a while before that. Like they'd been clamoring and they've been trying to get them together like up to that point. So, but it's interesting because now they're kind of a band and they're still putting out music, but like they don't have the show. But they have been doing a tour called In Real Life, which is like they go around to different cities and they're playing like every song from their show, including Giant Turd, which by the way,
mhm.
somebody needs to petition them to drop that as a single because I that song, it's so stupid, but it's so funny. Um,
You know, yeah, because I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say that this whole like origin story thing with Big Time Rush, it kind of reminds me of another band. Now I'm not sure if that show was also their origin story or they existed before, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Jonas Brothers. I
yeah,
mean,
so
I think that even though I think that show was Disney, I don't think it was Nickelodeon. But the style, I'm talking like the show right now, like the style, the humor, the overall over the top like cartoonish sound effects and everything. It kind of Big Time Rush kind of remind me of that, So even though I can assume they're not like almost the same, but like the way how you're telling the story and everything kind of remind me of them a little bit.
well, yeah, and that's actually funny you bring it because I was gonna say I think in part Big Time Rush might have been like Nickelodeon's like kind of like like way of like competing like with the Jonas Brothers.
Mm.
I mean, granted, I think the Jonas Brothers are so much bigger than Big Time Rush. I mean, that I wouldn't. Well, bigger is not the right word, but I think they're more popular. There's more of a fan base.
Mm.
But I think that originally Big Time Rush was created like in response to the Jonas Brothers. Um, but really, what Big Time Rush, the thing I would compare it to, I've never watched this show because it's like way before my time. But I've heard a lot of people compare the idea with Big Time Rush and the band to the Monkees. Um, and I think just what I know about the Monkees, that's probably a fair comparison. Um, I mean, yeah, I think that's probably a fair comparison. Um, I kind of want to go back and try to watch the Monkees like, just to see, but I think it's kind of like a updated version of the Monkees. Yeah.
So basically, like the Adams Family and the Monsters.
Yes. So let me think. So
Okay. While you're thinking, I just want to say right here, right now, because like it, even though like before I will say this before this live stream we decided to do about the Big Time Rush. I actually did try to do a little bit of research, to actually know about them and everything. But for what I've actually understood, and that's something actually you mentioned in your little short summary, short/long summary. Like they're not I mean technically they're not officially like an actual band, like yeah, because you mentioned like a lot of them they work solo, and sometimes they're together, so so basically, yeah, I mean like from my understanding, they're not officially a band. I mean, would you agree?
I mean, I don't know, that's a gray area because I think they I think they are now, but I don't think they like I don't know. It's hard for me to call like whenever like you're on a show like that, like they were on
Mm.
Nick. I kind of classify them differently, like in that regard, because I mean, I think they were a band, but they were a band like through the TV show because a lot of their music like was through the TV show.
Yeah.
But now I think they're more of a band in the traditional sense. Um, what's
So
interesting,
okay, sorry,
what
go ahead.
what's interesting now is they're a band and they don't like. I mean, aside from their touring, they don't really have like the TV show to go along with it. So it's kind of now I would call them a band more so than I would have probably like 10 years ago. Um, yeah.
So from the time when the sitcom ended, when did they start officially being a band?
Okay. So I would say probably, well, I'd say probably 2020. Well, actually, I'd say probably 2021. Yeah, I'd say
So
2020.
basically 2020 or 2021?
Um, I'm going to say 2021.
Do you think it was because of the fandom or the crying for like a revival of the TV show or something? Do you think that
Um,
was the reason why they decided to be a band?
I think it was partially because of the fandom. Um, I think that, I mean, part of it, I mean, I think this plays into a lot of things. I think part of it was money.
Well, naturally, of course.
Um, but I think part of it was the fandom. Um, I think part of it was some of the response they got from re the worldwide re-recording they did. I think part
Mm.
of it was from that. Um, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think those were like the two main components to it. Um, but I think if I'm thinking about it, I think the worldwide thing really drove it more than the fandom because, well, no, that's not right. I think that the worldwide definitely like generated excitement and generated like interest in them again. Um, I'm I'm also not really surprised that they got back together that they like actually like decided to like try a revival because I think that their voices all the one thing I'll say about them is it's really funny because like you see like a boy band from Nickelodeon, you're like, oh god, no. That was my first impression when I saw like previews for the show like back in 2010, and then I started watching it, and it has personality. They have a lot of personality, but putting aside the personality of the TV show, which is I think what kind of sold people on them to begin with and got them fans to begin with, but putting aside that, their voices are all really strong voices. I mean, now the two strongest are Kendall and James, by far. Um,
Uh, could you please point them out on the picture?
Kendall's the one with the hat,
Okay.
and then James is the one on the end with the long hair.
Okay. So okay. I mean, I was gonna ask you like who. I mean, maybe they don't have, but like who would you categorize as kind of like the leader of the band,
So
or do
on
they
the
even have a leader at all?
so on the show, Kendall, um, in real life, I don't know if they really have a leader so much in real life. I think they're more like I think it seems like it's even in real life just based on what I have read and what I know. Um, but on the show was definitely Kendall.
So basically, all for one for all in real life.
Yeah. What's interesting
Before,
is so what's really cool though is so they put out 3 albums with their show. The first 2 albums, I think a lot of the songs were just written for them. However,
fair enough.
the third album, 24/7, which coincided with the 4th season of their show. So that album, which I think of of their 3 albums for the show, that was probably their strongest. But that album, a lot of the band were involved in like writing the songs. And then same thing with their newest album, they all were involved with writing the songs, which is really cool.
Can I ask you, like, so basically after the sitcom ended back in 2013, so after that, and when they basically started to be like an official band and everything, my question is this. So ever since they started officially as a band, uh, did they ever had like a number one hit? So I'm talking post. So I'm talking post sitcom era.
That's a good question. I don't think they did. I'm just gonna look and see.
Now everyone patient while TK is searching for the answer. Now Gustavo will come. Now Gustavo will enter the room and he will be like, "Why is not everyone talking?"
Okay, so yeah, so they haven't really charted. Their new music hasn't charted, although their original music from Nick, it charted what one song which it sounds like a stupid song. But it's actually a good song. Their song Boyfriend, that was number 72 in the Hot 100 at one point.
That's impressive.
But nothing they've done recently has charted. Which kind of makes sense because their music recently, it's not bad, I think the singles they put out like throughout 2021 and 2022 are much better than the actual album. And none of those singles are on the album. Like the album is like completely new songs, um, which I found a little bit weird. But the album, their album they put out in 2023 is definitely not as strong as the stuff they were doing on the show. Um, I personally think if they do another album, which I think they are, I would go one of two ways with it. I would either do I would either do an album of like completely acoustic versions of like all their old songs from the show, like take all those old songs we record, do acoustic, because their voices are so strong by themselves. I think that would sell like crazy, and I think that would be cool. Um, Alternatively, I think just lean in more to the acoustic vibe. Um,
Mm.
because again, I think their voices are so strong that they work on their own, like without like they work without the extra like production.
Mm. Mm. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, I can understand your feeling when I asked you, are there actually a band or not, being like kind of like a gray area because of everything you just said. It kind of it kind of makes sense. Why would you even categorize them into like a gray area? Like sometimes they are, sometimes they're not, and everything. But I mean, it also kind of way makes sense because, like you said, when they were basically under the Nickelodeon umbrella. Like other people were writing their songs while they were
Yeah,
doing the sitcom and everything. So now after they officially became a boy band, I mean, I don't know if someone else is writing the songs for them or they're doing it on their own. I don't know, but there's still. I mean, you can kind of say that there's still almost like a when it comes to for boy bands, you can still kind of categorize them as basically being rookies. Like
yeah,
since they're officially started, as you said, in 2021. Now we're in 2026. It's been like 5 years. And so yeah, I mean, even though it's still like you said, they have a strong fandom ever since the sitcom era and everything. But as an actual band, I mean, still being on the what was the rank 70.
yes. It was 70. Was it 70 or 73?
But still, like being like a 70 or 73, as a that's still impressive. It's still impressive, being in the 100 like rank list and everything. It's that so they definitely with that basically they kind of like started to the way how I can see it. They kind of started like to basically show themselves to the world, basically. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, in the same time, it's kind of ironic. They kind of start to show themselves in the world because people already know them because of the sitcom. Uh, but like what I'm trying to say is like as right now as real musicians, let's put it that way, as real musicians, through those achievements, now they're basically showing their faces in the real world, basically. I don't know what I just said right now. It makes sense or not, but that's at least the way how I see it. So you can kind of still categorize them after 5 years. They're rookies,
yeah,
basically. But being on the 70 or 73rd place among the top 100, is still impressive. It's really really impressive that they're on the list and everything. So I guess that the somewhere in the future, if they still continue, I mean, I guess they will have a number one hit.
yeah. So I think eventually they could. I think that they need to, in terms of continuing as a band, they need to. Well, first of all, they're talking about doing a revival movie or TV show,
Mm.
which I think will help them. Um,
Yeah, but the question right now is if it's gonna happen or not.
yeah, yeah. I mean, from what it sounds like, it's gonna go into production after their tour's over. Um, I'm gonna
And
be curious
and
to
when the,
see
when
what.
the last oh, sorry, I was just gonna ask you like when is the last tour destination?
Um, That's a good question because they seem to keep extending the tour.
Mm.
It's supposed to end though March 26th.
March 26th.
Yeah.
Well, since right now we're in at the end of April.
Okay, yeah, so it's already ended then. Okay.
Okay. So, well, you said March, so right now we're at the end of April. So their tour has ended like a month ago.
Yeah, so they were supposed to start. They were supposed to start, I think, filming that whenever, or at least more production on it whenever their tour was over. I'm
I
gonna
mean,
be curious.
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna be interested if they do it. I'm gonna be interested in like what their story is for it and like how they kind of because I'm trying to think how to say this. One thing I don't want to see is I don't want to see like a complete revival of the TV show. I'd like to see like something different, like something like fresh.
You would you be fine with like a continuation of the sitcom, like a sequel? Because that also is possible for them to do, like a many years later sequel, where they basically you can put the story where they're like officially abandoned everything, and basically they became famous all over the world. You can also add maybe like somewhere down the line throughout the sitcom that maybe their career is kind of like basically getting more and more down the drain or something, like and then basically they pull themselves up together. I mean, you could do all sorts of things with a TV show like that. I mean, when you do a revival, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going full reboot. It could basically mean taking an old sitcom and maybe like having ideas to continue the story. So so again, like, would you be fine if it's like a sequel?
Yeah, I mean, one thing they could take notes from because, or one revival they could take notes from because I think how they did this revival was good. They should take notes from the Zoe 102 revival.
Okay.
Because I think how they did like that is like a one-off, and they did it like I think they could take notes and do it in that format. I if they do it in that format, I think it could work.
I mean, one thing for certain. I mean, I've seen the recent interviews with this guy, but one thing for certain, the guy who plays Gustavo Rock, like he is like craving to return back, to do a show with Big Time Rush.
Oh, he is really funny in the show, and he's actually also in real life. He's actually a really good singer.
If I remember correctly from his Who's Who, is he like a rapper or something?
No, I don't think he is.
Well, no, he kind of looks like one.
Yeah, no, you're right. He does look like one. But yeah, he's actually a pretty good singer. Oh, yeah, he would probably be one of the first, if they actually get a good script for that and they get a good director and everything, he'd probably be the first one besides the band to sign back on for that.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like when it comes to the actor, I mean, if someone basically shows his face to me, if someone shows a picture of him to me, vaguely, I would say this. The first thing that will come to my mind is the Big Time Rush sitcom. The other project where he was in that I know was. Have you ever seen the anime movie Storks?
Storks, yes.
Okay, he voices that little pigeon toady character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where he's like, check out my girlfriend. I mean, she does exist as real. Farewell, bro. Her like me now. Or even like better. Yeah, we're all the same, and she's a weirdo. Whoa, that's not nice. She had a hard life. Like, I mean, like I'll be honest. Like when me and my friend we watched Storks together, every single scene that this guy voiced Pigeon Toady, like we laughed hysterically because he was like so good, especially when he was like farewell, brah. Like I thought we were vibing. I mean, yeah. So those are the two only roles I know this guy from, and I will tell you one holy truth about Big Time Rush. The only thing I remember from that, sitcom is Gustavo Rock. His character is the only thing I remember because for me, he was the only interesting one. Every scene he was in, if it's shouting, if it's bullying the band, or it's like talking nonsense, or when he's like with his assistant, like for me, they were golden. For me personally, don't get me wrong, but in that show, Gustavo Rock for me was the heart and soul.
Yeah. Oh, but
I mean, I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Yeah, no, I agree. He really was. Ed, so here are two interesting facts about the show. So this first one, so everybody knows that Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson are married, which I think is mind blowing for everybody. Well, this is gonna be it also is mind blowing who Carlos, the one in the middle there in the blue shirt there, it's also mind blowing who he married in real life.
Who did he marry?
He married a spy, or she played a spy in a movie, in a very famous movie series. Alexa Vega.
Wait, are you talking about the woman who voiced the one that you and I did a Shadow Council episode before?
No, she was Carmen.
Oh, right. Yeah.
In Spy Kids.
Oh, her. Oh, wow. I mean, it kind of makes sense. She's kind of like close to his age, I think.
Which that always blew my mind, though. I don't know why. That always blew my mind. But and then another interesting thing. So I'm trying to think how many episodes he guest starred in. I guess 2, but one I wouldn't call him a major guest star. I mean, I guess he would be like for comic book people is they had Phil Lamar on there twice.
Oh, okay.
And they had him playing.
I mean, if I remember correctly,
it was kind of cool too because they had him playing like a bad guy. So it was kind of cool because like everybody who knows Phil Lamar knows him is either, I would say, Wilt or Static. So it was interesting to have him like in a villain role. So that was kind of cool. And I mean, they had their fair share of guest stars. They had. Sorry, I'm trying to think that there was somebody who
the one you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think like Patton Oswalt was in it as well.
Yes, he was. Yes. Well, they had Tara Strong. She played their teacher on the show.
Oh yeah. I think that was the only role where she was like an actual living actress where I know her from.
Yeah. You never see her, like you only hear her, you never see her. So like it threw me too. Whatever I saw her at first, I was like, wait, what? Because like that was the first time I'd ever actually seen her.
Yeah, I think. I mean, even for me, I think like even for me was the only time I ever seen Tara Strong actually acting.
They also had in a Christmas episode they had Snoop Dogg.
Oh wow!
They had.
I'm kind of curious. I'm always kind of curious what actually made these people like interested to be in a sitcom like this, even if it's just like for one episode, like a guest star or something, like even if it means like 5 or 10 minutes. Like I'm always kind of wondering what they find interesting to be part of the show. Like for example, in your case, you said Snoop Dogg was in it.
I need to go back and look that up because I think he was in it.
Let me. I want to check it myself.
I know they featured him on Boyfriend.
I mean Snoop Dogg actually he did some like acting roles in his career. I mean like he was in from like the SpongeBob movie to like he was like on Monk as well. He did a lot of things when it comes to acting.
Okay, yeah, he did guest star on there.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm always gonna because it always gonna make me curious, like what drives people like, for example, Snoop Dogg in this case, what drives them to be in a show like this?
Him, honestly, I don't. Oh, they also one person who was like a series regular was as Buddha Bob. I think a lot of people will recognize him from other Nick shows. Darren Norris.
Could you enlighten me a little bit more?
Cosmo.
Oh.
And Gordy.
He was in it?
Yeah, he was Buddha Bob. He was the guy who looks like the homeless guy with like the long hair and the beard.
Wow. They had even Cosmo. Wow. Okay.
That was because it was Scott Fellows, and so Darren Norris was also Gordy in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, the janitor. So I think part of why he was in it was because he knew Scott Fellows and he had a good relationship with him. Lorenzo Lamas was in it. Fabio guest starred in it a couple times. Oh, he appeared one episode for the season.
Can you imagine if they had like guest stars like let's just say like Elton John or Tom Jones, like big shots like that?
That would have been crazy.
I mean, Tom Jones maybe not. He did appear in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That very small cameo that is in the dream, basically in the dream of his cousin. But honestly, if they, for Elton John to appear in Big Time Rush, like I bet you anything that he was too expensive to get.
Oh yeah, he'd have been crazy expensive. Although, I will say, if they had approached him and they could pay him, I'm fairly sure he would have done it.
Oh, absolutely. I can guarantee if they asked Elton John to do it, I can bet anything that he would have said yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think for sure he would have said yes.
The guy did the guy did a fucking comedy sketch with Rowan Atkinson when he was younger. He was in the Kingsman movie, The Golden Circle. There are a few. He was in freaking he was in what was that Disney movie with the bears? Small cameo.
Disney movie with the bears. Brother Bear.
I know it's based on a ride.
Oh! I know. The Country.
No, not that one. It was live action. Disney. The Country Bears.
Okay.
The Country Bears. Yeah, he was in it for a brief few seconds. He even had some lines and everything, but he was in it. So so the point is, I think like he's the type of guy who, if you ask him, I think that he will definitely say yes, or at least think about it. But even back then, when Big Time Rush was done, let's just say it would have made their wallets dry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like so dry that you will see skeletons of moths and butterflies not going out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's no way they could have afforded him. I mean, well,
Absolutely.
well, actually, I mean, I'm not going to say they absolutely couldn't have afforded him. I mean, but I think you're right. I think it would have bankrupt them like pretty bad.
Yeah, because back then Elton John was still a fucking legend and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, here's the conundrum. Okay, here's the conundrum. If we're talking about like Elton John, here's the conundrum. He personally would have done it. I think he would have done it. Let's be real here. But financially, it would have not been possible because I expect, because from the budget they had for this particular sitcom and everything, and back then, I mean, usually when it comes to Nickelodeon sitcoms, their budgets are not that big. Basically, I mean, it's still enough, for them to go around, for a few seasons and props and sets and everything. But when it comes to, but they're not like on the level of, like, let's say HBO Max or Amazon or Netflix. Like, they're not on that level, like, strong. So yeah, it's quite a conundrum. Like I said, so I'll basically repeat myself. Financially, no, but would Elton John do it? Yes.
Yeah.
But also, here's another crazy thing. When you mentioned Phil Lamar and Tara Strong, this particular project's like Big Time Rush. I think like it's a type of project I could definitely see voice actors like showing their acting skills. Because I mean, like, though, in these kind of shows, especially sitcoms, especially if we're talking like sitcoms who are like really like over the top and maybe targeted towards children more than adults. Like in this particular project, I mean, you can see voice actors going like going on like 100%, like they can literally do whatever they want. I mean, I remember like when I was watching Frasier, the Paramount Plus revival of the sitcom. Even though he was there like for like a few minutes, but there was a scene in an episode where basically Kelsey Grammer was like on a date in a restaurant, and on the bar you saw no one else but John DiMaggio sitting, like John DiMaggio, the voice actor. And he had go ahead.
That made me think. The first time I ever saw John DiMaggio, like the voice actor, like his face, was Modern Family.
Oh yeah.
Where they go on that, or they try to go on that boat, and I think it's Gloria who punches him.
Yeah, I mean, did he actually have a one line or something?
Yeah, he had like one line, and like the funny thing is his voice, like you never know, like it's him. Like he sounds so different. Like I was like, who the heck? And then I looked it up and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, I saw John DiMaggio like for different photos and conventions and Comic-Con and things like that. So I did remember his natural voice and his face and everything. So when I saw him in the Frasier revival sitcom, I was like, oh my god, that's John DiMaggio. Like, that's that's freaking Bender from Futurama. That's the Scotsman from Samurai Jack, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I mean, so I mean, so the point I was trying to say is that there's something about this particular project, this particular sitcoms, that is basically acceptable for like voice actors to act. I mean, it's a very strange thing what I just said, but I don't know, like this kind of projects, I mean, it kind of works for them. I mean, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I agree. I I always like seeing me personally, I always like seeing it's always fun for me to see like the voice actor, like see what they look like and see what they actually sound like.
Mm.
Because I found a lot of them sound nothing like the characters you know them from. Like they
Oh,
all like a lot of them like they just talk like you and I, and like you hear them and you're like, what? No, you're not Draken.
I mean, I mean,
Although
okay.
I will say, going off topic, you know what I really want? But you'd have to get like three different animators together for this, and you'd have to get like them to all three sign off on these characters. But it would probably be one of the best shows ever in the world. I want a show with uh, Crocker, Draken, and Doofenshmirtz.
Oh my god,
That
what a
would be
crossover!
that would be such comedy gold.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you'd never get that because you'd never get Nick and Disney to sign off together on anything like that. But if they did, oh my god, that would be the best show ever.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, to do a crossover like that, I mean, it will take a lot of money.
But
Not,
going
not
back
to
to the voice
mention
actors,
agreements.
is interesting because the voice actor who played Crocker also played Laszlo.
Yeah, yeah. You mean Laszlo from Camp Laszlo?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, I mean, I'm just so we're both on the same cliff. Uh, okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, sometimes there are some voice actors that basically, when you hear them in real life, you think like, who the hell are they and everything,
Yeah.
So, and then basically after you find out who they are and who they voiced and everything, you're like, what the fuck? I was like, that's them.
That was my first thing.
I mean,
He
you're kidding me.
no, I'm not. He was in I saw him in a movie. He
Clancy
was
Brown of
what movie was he in?
Clancy Brown of
I'm trying to think.
okay.
I'm gonna look that up. He was in
He was in Shawshank Redemption. He was in Highlander. He was in like in the Penguin. He was like in so many different stuff. So you have to be very specific.
it was let me find it. It was When the Game
He
Stands
was also
Tall.
in. Really,
Yes,
that's the first. That's the first movie you saw him in.
Yeah, that's the first one I saw him in, and like
Okay.
I had no idea it was him. I just thought, wow, and then I went home and I was looking at the casting.
TK.
Brown, and I was like, what?
TK. Come on. Of all the voice actors that exist, that basically they sound nothing like their cartoonish characters, you pick the one who has like a very iconic voice, even like in live action when he's acting. Okay. Let me go this way. Let me put it this way. His normal talk, his normal way of talking, it's basically Lex Luthor.
Yes.
Okay, so if you saw Superman the animated series, if you saw the Justice League TV shows, like that's basically him being himself.
Yes. Although
and you still didn't recognize him.
No.
Damn it.
Although it's funny, who the voice actor that I think actually there's only one voice actor that like I can think in my head who actually does sound a lot like the character he voices. And that's Sean Schemmel.
Okay, yeah.
You can kind of hear Goku in his voice. And I will say, you can't really hear Crowler in his voice, but Goku, you can 100% hear in his voice.
Okay, I mean, let me put it this way. So if you saw Frank Welker being in a TV show or in a movie, like like a small from a cameo to a guest star, would you recognize who he is?
Probably not, at least not right away.
You're serious?
Yeah.
His voice is basically Fred Jones from Scooby-Doo. With a little bit of caffeine.
Yeah, see, I'd never recognize it.
Like, well, yeah, because I think that's the trick here. Because like, for example, Jim Cummings, for example, like I've heard him in so many different anime roles, Disney and outside Disney. I've heard him so many times playing so many different characters that if I would ever met him, like like let's just say in real life, face to face, and basically the very first second that he starts talking, of all the characters that he voiced in his career and everything, there will always be a little bit out of like one or several of them that basically will click to you or anyone else. They're like, oh my God, that's Jim Cummings, the voice of Winnie the Pooh, Bonkers, or I don't know, Hondo Onakai in the Clone Wars. Like, there's no, like, after hearing recent certain voice actors for a long time, there always have been characters who are like, have the tone of their actual natural voices. Tara Strong also had so many different characters that she voiced that basically was her being herself.
Yeah.
Although Tara Strong, she does also have a unique voice in a way, but overall, okay, for example, Kevin Michael Richardson. Would you recognize him if you saw him in a show or in a movie? Come on, man. His voice is iconic.
Now, although, speaking of Kevin Michael Richardson, there's only one role that, for me, he didn't work with.
It has something to do with bats.
Yes.
Then I know what you're talking about.
The Joker.
Yeah. Yeah, or should I say Sonic Joker?
Yeah. It's not that he wasn't a good Joker. He just, for some reason, his booming voice just doesn't like fit the Joker to me. I don't know why. Like, he fits Mob Boss. He fits like Gantu. He fits like anything like that. But for some reason, that just didn't work for me.
Have you ever seen the Cleveland Show?
Yes.
Okay. He voices one of his sons.
Yes.
Would you believe that was him?
I do. I do like him. I think he's a great voice actor.
Oh, he's one of the greatest. Absolutely.
And he's like in he's like been in almost everything. But that's the only thing I've seen him in, like, that he's been cast in that I wasn't crazy about. But no, I don't think I would recognize him if I saw him like without hearing his voice. Not without hearing his voice, but I don't think I'd recognize him like in live action.
Do you know how he looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. It's really strange because for me personally, when it comes to voice actors, if I ever see them somewhere in live action, of course, seeing the photos and everything, I immediately recognize them. But when it comes to their voices, for me, it was always easy to recognize them because there's always something from like smidgets of other voice roles that they did. Like I explained before, there's smidgets of other voice roles that they did, basically in which, like, whatever that you hear them, like, in real life, or if it's like an interview or a movie or a TV show, it doesn't matter. There's always something that clicks, basically, that kind of like makes you like, oh, that's Tom Kenny. He's the guy who did SpongeBob or the Ice King or whatever.
Well, they also...
So it's kind of...
Well, there's a voice actor that made me think there is one voice actor I think I make an exception for. Eric Stewart.
Okay.
His voice sounds a lot like the characters he voices. You can really hear Brock and Kaiba in his voice, and even in he has a band too so you can really kind of hear the Kaiba, the Brock in his voice.
Yeah. By the way, we have 2 new comments, and they're both from Caroline. Hello there, Caroline. Nice to see you again. I saw them in a concert with a friend about a year ago. I didn't know many of the songs, but there were so many guy and girl fans that knew every word. Yeah. I mean, just like TK explained, like the Big Time Rush, and by the way, we are going back to our main topic. Imagine that. Oh, we're back. So basically, just like TK explained, like Big Time Rush, does have a massive fandom, mostly because of the sitcom. Was Big Time Rush birth a voice actor? Wait, what does she mean by that?
I'll try to answer that. So they weren't ever a voice. I mean, I'm going to try to. Oh, was Big Time Rush a voice actor? No. So, I'm going to try to.
Does she mean like? Does she mean that they were ever like voice actors, or does she mean something? Does she mean something else?
I think that's probably what she means.
Did they ever work as voice actors?
So I don't think they did. Although I'll put a caveat. Technically, they did.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, there was a huge mistype. You guys were talking about voice actors like with SpongeBob. That's where I entered. I was wondering if you got there. Wait, if any of the members worked as voice actors. Okay. So she's basically, I'm cooking, so I'm bad at grammar and typing. That's okay, Caroline. And whatever you're doing, it's gonna be delicious.
So
yes. So basically, I mean, you were right, TK.
So the answer to that question is, in real life, I don't think so. That I know of. However, in the show, they did have an episode of the show called Big Time Cartoon, where they had a cartoon version of their band, and like they actually did like an animation like of the show within the show, and they voiced their animated characters within the show. So, I mean, within the context of the show, yes, sort of. In real life, like outside of the show, no. I think I'm gonna double check that. I'm gonna double check that.
Let me see.
Oh no!
Actually, he actually did. They actually did do some voiceover. Like, for example, can I say it?
Yeah.
Okay, so Carlos Penvega, he basically says here that he's the most active voice actor in the group, and he famously voiced Bobby Santiago in Nickelodeon's The Loud House. Yes. And it's spin-off, and it looks like it's spin-off the Casagrandes.
Yes, I always forget about that.
Yeah. Also, James Maslow, he voiced a character, Beaver James, in one of the episodes of The Penguins of Madagascar.
Yes.
Let's see. Anime and movie projects. In 2012, Kendall Schmidt, Logan Henderson, and Carlos Penavega were announced to lend their voices to an anime film called The Great Migration. I know that. I know that movie. That's The Illumination with the ducks.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, they did some voiceover.
And then also something interesting about James Maslow. So, getting away from the voice acting, one of his first television
roles, big gig.
One of James's first television roles was on iCarly. The season 2 opener called "I Saw Him First," where he was a tech friend of Freddie's, and Carly and Sam saw him at the same time, and they were competing over him. I think that was his first television role.
Okay.
Yeah, that was his first television role.
Yeah. Now I will say this: when it comes to Big Time Rush as a sitcom in general, like I said, I don't remember everything. There are very few things I remember. Mostly were Gustavo Rock scenes. But I do remember that from I do remember like some of the characters. Like I said, I remember the assistant of Gustavo. I remember her. I remember that one of the members of the band, they had he had like his mother and his little sister
Yes, yeah, that was Kendall.
in the studio most of the time. Okay, so that was him. Yeah, so I remember them. I remember there was a certain blonde girl with them most of the time.
Yes, that was Joe. She was Kendall's girlfriend. She actually that actress Caitlin Tarver. She's actually touring with them in real life too.
Can I ask you something? One of my favorite moments with Gustavo Rock. I mean, it's simple, it's stupid, and people sometimes will question me like, "Why the fuck would you laugh at this?" But there's a moment. I think it was like at the beginning. In the first season, but I think there was one of those moments where basically Gustavo Rock, in his own way, goes like, "I'm sorry, who are you?" Like, did he say that to her?
Wait, say it again.
I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm trying to think.
I think it was like at the beginning of season 1. Like in the first few episodes.
I'd have to go back and watch them. That sounds familiar.
But also, I have to say one of my favorite moments, which is basically immediately in the first episode, where Gustavo and his assistant, they go through all these auditions, and there's so many lines that Gustavo had that I was laughing my ass off. But
Yes.
one of the most brilliant ones was when he got a fucking rocket launcher.
Yes.
Trying to shoot one of the members.
Yeah.
And then there was a dog.
Yes.
I think it was a French bulldog, I think. And basically he's like, well, that's actually the best singing we ever heard so far.
What I love about, so some of his facial expressions like throughout the show is like really, really, really hilarious. I mean, he really is. You said earlier he's the heart and soul of that show. I mean,
absolutely.
I think he really is. I mean, like, if they do a revival, I mean, I don't know if they do the revival and do the same thing, update it. If they steal what Drake and Josh are working on and like do something like completely new. But whatever they do, Stephen Kramer, Glickman, Gustavo, he has to be in it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because like, sure.
I mean, you could put him in it as like you could make him one of their dads. I mean, you could put him in it as anything.
No. He has to be as Gustavo Rock.
But
he has to be him.
But you could not do that show without him. I mean, no way.
No, absolutely. I mean, the Big Time Rush guys, they were the main characters, but the heart and soul was Gustavo. He I think like, I mean, think about it. Like, okay, the guys were the main characters, and mostly, of course, because of their looks, their talent, and because they're singing and everything. But if you think of it more closely, I think that the main reason why Big Time Rush was so famous was because of him, because of Gustavo. I mean, that's this how I would have seen it. I mean, every single scene he was in. I mean, one of my also favorite members. One of my also favorite moments in the show was, I think it was like about like one of the guys going like with a different agent or something. But basically, he started screaming like "No!" and then like water. Glug, 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 glug. Thanks. No! And then like you see like the entire planet heard him say no. I was like, I mean, some people might think like that's a bit corny and everything, or cheesy, but for me, it's hilarious, and I mean, guess I'm a sucker for corny and cheesy.
Join the club. We have jackets.
Exactly.
Give me 1 second.
Cheesy. Yeah, basically shirts with like cheesy and corny are welcome.
I'll be right back.
Stay tuned, boys and girls. Yeah. What we just said right now, it's going to be the new brand of shirts we're going to sell very soon on our Shadow Council store in the Neverland, basically. Yeah, a small place, basically, outside the world, outside reality. Prices, 50% off. Starting with the shirts, Midsummer 2020, never ever going to happen. Lovely. Alan, I have too much food and not enough Tupperware. Yeah, I can see your point. I can see your point, Caroline. Yeah. Tough spot for you. I get you. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Big Time Rush Revival would actually work. I mean, just like TK said, Drake and Josh, they tried to pull that off, but it never actually happened. I don't know. Maybe Big Time Rush will happen. I don't know. Anything is possible, but I'm not gonna go 50-50. I will go more maybe like 70-30. The chances of if it's gonna happen or not. But fingers crossed. And here we are ending with our commercials, and we go back to the Shadow Council. Yeah.
Caroline,
and we also have our TK.
Caroline apparently has too much food and not enough Tupperware.
Yep. Exactly. And here you are, TK, getting peshed. Getting peshed with a pickled bobby. Yeah. After the live stream, I'll tell you what that means.
It has something to do with alcohol, right?
No. I mean, peshed, yes. The pickled bobby thing, no. But if anyone who is Scottish in our live chat here, they will know what I mean. Okay, okay. With the pickled bobby aside, where were we? Oh yeah, Gustavo Rock. Yeah. Also, there's an episode that I particularly remember from Big Time Rush. Maybe you remember it too. But there was one episode where basically, I think like what's the name of that gray guy who's like above Gustavo, always in a suit, followed by other people?
Griffin.
Yeah. Basically looking like Doug Jones on a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember that there was once an episode. I remember it, most of it, where basically I think the guy gave him like a challenge in which basically he gave them all like a big sum of money to basically to see how they're gonna handle it and everything, and then basically every single one of them fucked up the entire assignment. And basically when he comes in and says, oh well, you prove yourself to be quite worthy to handle your own finance and everything, so okay, I'm gonna give you guys freedom. And then basically everyone, and I kind of paraphrasing here, but basically everyone goes like, no, don't do that. Oh my god. So that's one thing I do. That's the one episode I do remember, and of course I mostly remember the first one.
Yes, yeah.
I know
exactly which one you mean.
And I will never forget that moment where basically he was trying to bargain with Gustavo, basically not just simply taking him, but also the entire all his friends. And he basically and Gustavo is basically going like, do you really think I'm gonna take all of you like 4 dogs back in my studio to make supers out of you? Well, no way. I'm no making deals. Like, I'm kind of paraphrasing here. Like, no way. So basically, the guy with the hat, Kendall, he goes like, so it looks like we have a deal. And he's like, yep. just like that. So basically, everything he said before was basically bollocks, and then he basically goes like with the with someone basically putting some truth serum in his blood, and he goes like, "Yep." No, Gustavo is one of those characters that's like one of a kind.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
of a
he
kind.
was. And actually, I think I'm going to look this up to make sure I have this right, but that actor, I think, is also a like stage actor.
Who plays Gustavo?
Yeah.
Mm. But I think like because I've seen his records, I've seen his filmography and everything, and I
Oh,
think like I feel like he does.
so
Did you
he,
find something?
yeah, so he was originally cast as Shrek in Shrek the Musical and played the part in the original Broadway workshops and readings before Brian D.R.C. James was cast.
Oh, what a shame.
It's kind of a shame that he actually never was in like the like actual stage show because I could kind of see him as Shrek.
And honestly, I could even see him do some voiceover in the Shrek movies.
Oh, he would be he would be great in that.
I will. I'm gonna tell you right here, right now. I can bet you anything. If they ever cast him in a Shrek project, he will literally play a ogre parody of Gustavo Rock.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, like I'm telling you, I think they will definitely make him look like an ogre. Like I said, like an ogre version of the character he played in Big Time Rush. I can see him do that, but also at the same time, it'll be hilarious. I agree with you.
The only thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just look. I just had him. I was just looking. Yeah. He would be. That would be kind of cool to see him as a like Gustavo Rock ogre. I could
Can
seriously
you
see
imagine?
that. Yeah, I could seriously see that, and it would kind of be ironic too, because it would almost be a. Well, I don't know if ironic's the right word, but because the reason it would be ironic is because Mike Myers kind of played a not Gustavo person, but he played like a record like executive in Bohemian Rhapsody. So it would kind of be like ironic having a character like that in a Shrek movie.
Yeah, honestly, okay. Can you imagine him actually, playing this kind of character, but also at the same time giving him like a Gustavo Rock version of Scottish accent?
Yeah, that would be really funny to hear.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, but I think like I feel like this would be like a kind of like a opportunity. Like if they didn't cast him in like theater version of Shrek the musical, why not cast him in an anime movie? So it's like a win-win situation for him.
By the way, that made me think. Sort of like this sort of goes back to the voice actors we were talking about a little bit ago. So, just for fun, I'm curious. Have you heard of Tommy Maitland?
Let me see. Sometimes I suck when it comes to like names, so I have to see the picture of him. What was the name again?
Look up Tommy. Here, hang on one sec. Hang on one sec. I'm going to put a picture in the private chat.
Can you tell me the last name again?
Maitland.
So Tommy M-A.
Yeah, Maitland.
Tommy Maitland. Let me see. I think Tommy Maitland. Wait, isn't that a role? Wait, isn't that a role that Michael Myers, no Michael Myers, Mike Myers basically plays?
Yes. Yeah, and you would. The funny thing is that he never like. Well, I'm not gonna say the first season of the Gong Show, the revival. He didn't really like cop to being Tommy Maitland. But the funny,
It kind of reminds me of that character that Martin Short played. When he was playing that fat blonde like interviewer.
Yes.
So that kind of that Mike Myers role kind of reminds me of that.
Now that made me think. Mike Myers. I wonder if they could have ever got him in Big Time Rush.
I think. Well, back in that time, I think he would have accepted it.
Yeah, I think he would have. And I don't know if that would have blown the budget for them either. I mean,
no, I mean Mike Myers. I mean, like he was. He's a known actor, but like I don't think he is like. How can I put this? I don't think he's like a big shot actor.
Yeah.
I mean, like because okay. I mean, I really don't wanna like bash on Mike Myers because I'm a fan of his work. But ever since he did that the Guru movie, like many years ago, I don't know if you know which movie I'm talking about. I've only seen it once, but I forgot most of it. So basically, ever since he did that movie, his career basically went down, started to go downhill.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing that kept him alive, like career like speaking, the only thing that kept him alive was the Shrek role.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that kept him alive. I mean, sure, he did play in some like other movies, like I know that he was like in a movie where he played different characters of his own. I know that I know there was like a cameo of Shrek appearing in that movie as well. I think that was something that he did for Netflix. He appeared also in movies like Amsterdam and many different other projects. So he still like he was still working, but he never, but besides Shrek, he never achieved like that element of like being like really well known. Oh, I mean, no, actually, it's easier for me to say he never achieved that that element of like making him basically like a big shot. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never achieved that. I mean, again, it breaks my heart saying that about him because I like him as an actor. And honestly, I never thought that Guru movie that he did, I never thought it was like that bad. Like a lot of people were bashing about it. I mean, he does have flaws, definitely, but it's not that bad as people are saying.
Yeah, I know what movie you're talking about. I've never actually seen it myself, but I know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, the bashing that this movie had was basically just like for Adam Sandler, Jack and Jill. Same thing.
Yeah.
Like they were bashing it with no mercy. But honestly, like, okay, did it make me laugh hysterically? No. But did I enjoy it? Yes. Did it make me giggle sometimes? Yes. Made me smile? Yes. Does it have flaws? Absolutely. But it's not really that bad. I'll just put it that way. And also, speaking of, I'm also one of the rarest people who is a defendant of Jack and Jill, by the way.
Yeah, I didn't mind that movie. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't like terrible.
Exactly. I mean, I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. Okay, the whole Al Pacino thing, okay, it was too much, but overall as a movie, it was fine. It was fine, and I like the idea of like Adam Sandler doing like a double role, basically him and his twin sister.
Yeah, it was a cool movie. I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't like on the edge of my seat and like laughing like on the but it was okay. I mean, it wasn't bad.
No. I mean, what was the other movie that he did that was also a bit controversial? That's My Boy. I think.
Oh yes, I know which one you mean. Yes.
That's another movie that a lot of people bashed on when it comes to Adam Sandler's career. That's another movie that people bashed on and on and on about it. And honestly, I found that movie hilarious, even though it had some controversial elements that
Oh,
you would kind of question.
I just looked it up. I remember what. Yes.
So it does have some controversial and questionable elements in the movie, of course. But overall, I had a blast with it every time when I see it.
Yeah, it's real. I don't think it was bad.
Mm.
I mean, I get the controversial stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Now going back to Big Time Rush, one thing I just wanted to ask you because I was kind of like when I was kind of like saying that when I was talking to myself, waiting for you to have a pitch. Basically, what? Okay, so let's be real here, because they tried that with Drake and Josh, it didn't work. So my question to you is this: how would you rank the chances of like the Big Time Rush revival actually happening? In which direction you would go, like when it comes to chances?
I'd say the chances are better it will happen, than it won't, because I think that they're all four on board with it. I think it's just going to be a matter of like getting it together, getting. I think Paramount Plus. The last time I heard that's where it's going to be done. Um, so I think it's just going to be a matter of like getting the right script, getting the right story.
Yeah, but there's
That
also
being said,
one thing you're. Go
I
ahead.
also think it'd be a matter of um I mean, yeah, I think it'd be a matter of getting the right script and the right story. Um
There's also
which
another thing you missed. It also depends on. It also depends on the viewers. It also
yeah,
depends on if there are people out there still like open to a show like this.
yeah,
Because even though because the thing is, even though Big Time Rush does have a fandom, uh, you still have to like make a bigger picture and basically see, okay, so the fandom part is still a strong element that could bring the TV show back and everything, sure, but you also have to, like I said, you have to go through a bigger picture and basically look at like basically the mentality of viewers today, if
yes.
they're interested or at least curious to see something like that, actually having a revival. I mean, even though, I mean, look, I do agree, Big Time Rush fandom is strong, but for me personally, and I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but for me personally, that's still not strong enough for like Big Time Rush to have a revival, because again, it depends, like you said, it depends on the budget. It depends on the script. It depends on the interest. It depends on the viewership, what people want. But also at the same time, it also depends on like if any of the producers or just the studio in general are actually interested at all to do it.
Well, I would say if they do it, and it sounds like this is the direction they're going. I think they need to do it like as a movie as opposed to a series. Because
Mm, yeah.
think I don't think they would. I mean, maybe people would be interested in a revival series, but I think their better bet is to go with a movie because I think that more people they'll get more viewers that way for a one-off as opposed to a series. Yeah, I that's the way I'm kind of hoping they stick with. I'm kind of hoping they don't like turn it into a show because I think you're right. I think for a show like a full revival show, I honestly don't think it'll work. Um, although Paramount Plus, I mean, they do they have had some like strong revivals there. I mean, when I say strong, I mean like I wouldn't say like strong, but I mean they've had strong enough. Um,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
um,
remember the superhero TV sitcom they had.
yes,
I mean, they made the spin-offs, they made a movie about it, so so I do agree with you. Like it is strong, well, not strong, but it's still strong enough to keep it going. So yeah, I mean, please continue.
um, that being said, I do want to circle back to one thing. The Drake and Josh like revival. Whatever I read about that, I keep hoping that they'll get like them both on board, that they can both get on board and see eye to eye with that, because the way they describe it is kind of updating it, kind of like not playing their exact characters from the TV show and like playing like new versions. And honestly, I would be very curious to see them do that. I think it could work because I mean they are a good they were a good comedic duo on Nick. Now the question is if they I mean I'm sure it won't be Nick again. I'm sure it'll be Paramount Plus or Netflix. Or HBO Max. I'm sure it won't be Nick. So I'd be curious to see how their comedy how they would translate like on one of those networks and like more like adult oriented. But I don't know that I'd be curious to see that. And that would be the thing I would say about same thing with Big Time Rush. I would say if they do a revival movie and like they do like if it's not a continuation and like it's just like different versions of like the band, like the thing I would hope they would do is make it more adult oriented, make it appeal more to adults because a lot of their fan base now would be more young adults. Um, like probably 25 to 35, I'd say, or 25 to 40, I'd say. Um, so that would be the other thing I would say is if you're going to do it as a movie, but also make it more adult oriented. Also, definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I will say this. Okay, I will go with Drake and Josh first, and then I will go to Big Time Rush. Look, there have been talks and talks about like Drake and Josh revival for like a decade, basically. And honestly, like there were all sorts of elements that basically gave you signals that it's not going to happen because like if it's like something to do with Nickelodeon or with Paramount or like with Drake and Josh's relationship, not to mention also Drake's court business that he had.
Yeah.
That also, by the way, that also is a big effect on like if it's going to be revived or not. However, if they ever return together, I don't think that it would be like as Drake and Josh. I think it would be something else. I mean, it could be a sitcom. Absolutely, it could be a sitcom with a background laughter and everything, but it's not going to be them. It's going to be something else entirely.
I hope that they do.
Like if it's going to be.
I
I
hope
was
if
just going to say.
I hope if they do it, you mentioned the background laughter. I hope if they do it without laugh track because that was the one thing with that show and like all the shows on Nick really is the laugh track. Like I don't mind like it being in front of a live studio audience, but some of the stuff you can tell it's a laugh track and it just does not sound good.
Yeah, I mean that's actually one of the reasons why I never liked watching. Besides Drake and Josh, and maybe even Big Time Rush when I was a kid. Besides those two, like that's one of the reasons why I never liked watching like Nickelodeon or Disney live action sitcoms in general. I never even watched like I mean I used to when I was a kid I used to watch Hannah Montana, but if you're gonna bring me if you're gonna make me watch the show again, I will not enjoy it the same way as I did when I was a kid because I agree with you. Like when you see those laughter like background laughters. It literally sounds fake Basically,
Yeah.
it literally sounds like an audio recording.
Yeah.
Basically, thrown every single time when there's a joke. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like for example, that's one of the reasons why, like I basically watch British sitcoms, every single time, because their laughters are basically natural, because
Yeah.
they're, you know, even if they're filming a scene outside, the laugh that basically comes with every single joke they say, it feels real, it feels earned, it feels natural. The same thing goes with, like, you know, with the American sitcoms, like, you know, Happy Days or Taxi or Merc, the Alien, or like, if you know, or like something, or like recent, like, you know, the Frasier, well, not the Frasier revival, you know, but basically like some other sitcoms that eventually were made. The point is, like, you know, all these sitcoms became effective, including their jokes, because of live studio audience. You know.
Yeah.
Even though I bet that today's sitcoms mostly they use like already recorded laughter rather than having a live studio audience.
Yeah.
But you know, but even still, like, even if that actually, even if they're doing that, it still has something, you know, that kind of keeps you going. But when it comes to like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, like, you know, sitcoms, it kind of makes you feel like, you know, yep, like that's forced or fake.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But I was trying to say is that if we were going to see Drake and Josh together, again, I doubt it will be the revival. I think it will be something else. I think like it will be. I think it could be a Netflix. It could be. I mean, it could be a sitcom, or it could be a drama or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, it's definitely going to be like. You know, but I don't think it's going to be on Nickelodeon. I think it could be just Paramount Plus or Netflix or Amazon or something like that. You know, so that's why I doubt we'll see a Drake and Josh revival. Now, going back to Big Time Rush, one thing I was going to tell you when you were talking about the movie thing is that I think because I totally agree with you. I think like the smartest idea they could do is basically do a movie, and then basically if the movie becomes successful, if a movie creates basically a brand new fandom, let's put it that way, then maybe you can use it as an excuse to continue through a sitcom. I mean, do you know what I mean? I mean, look, let's be real. I do think, you know, I think it's better if they do more as a movie than an actual TV show. And I think like if they ever come back as a sort of like a Big Time Rush revival, I think I kind of believe it will definitely be like a movie, like a one-off thing, and that's it, basically. But if with some miracle, if the movie becomes successful, maybe it could spark, like I said, maybe it could spark a continuation through a sitcom.
You know that.
I mean, I'm just saying, anything is possible.
I didn't think about that, but that's not a bad point. Yeah, if that's the, I'm just thinking about that. That would be, I think, another reason I might go for the movie as opposed to the sitcom, because if the movie, like you said, if the movie actually works and it actually gets the viewers, then you could, you know, keep going with it.
Yeah, but like again, if they again, like I said, if they do a movie first and it becomes successful and it gives like enough reasoning, it gives enough like reasons and energy and positivity and ideas to continue this Big Time Rush storyline. Like I said, if they continue by basically transferring from a movie to a TV sitcom, then I think I think like the way they should definitely keep it to like maybe 2 or 3 seasons. Because I don't think, especially now, I don't think the guys from Big Time Rush. I mean, the guy who plays Gustavo Rock. I know he can go indefinitely playing the same role, but looking at like the Big Time Rush guys and everything, like I don't think they'll be on board to continue basically doing this sitcom based franchise. Let's put it that way, like through infinity and beyond. I think like if you're gonna transfer from a movie to a sitcom, then first and foremost you need to have, like you said, you need to have really good ideas, really good scripts to keep like the fandom and the love for this franchise going, but also at the same time try to keep it short. I think like because like the first TV show was like 4 seasons long, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. Okay, so basically, if they do a revival, like I said, starting with a movie, successful, then we go to the sitcom. Keep it the same way, 3 to 4 seasons max. And I think like with that, I think like what's the word I'm looking for? I think like with that, the overall product results basically would be more effective.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So again, but at first, well, while we were talking, like if they do you mentioned the first time the revival thing, I was like 70-30. It might not actually happen, but now again, I'm not trying to be very negative, but like now I'm sticking to. I know I'm between 50-50 and 60-40, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think they have enough of a fan base that they can do the move. That they could do a movie, and then the movie could. But, I mean, and then if the movie works, they could continue to the show. I mean, but I think there would be enough fan base to do a movie.
A movie, yes. A TV show, you're gonna need a wider audience.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. Yeah, you're right.
Like you're gonna need, because like I said, when you're trying to do a TV show, especially continuing from something that already exists, you need to bring back not just simply the old fans, but also at the same time you need to also approach a much more wider and newer audience as well.
Yes.
So and that is sometimes easier said than done.
Yes.
But we shall see. I mean, especially for you being a massive fan, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it might eventually happen. But for me, what, I'm sticking with 60-40.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, for me, it's not enough to go 50-50.
Yeah, that was kind of that was kind of, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping it'll happen. I have my fingers crossed. I'm going to be interested.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I mean, is Big Time Rush on Paramount Plus?
No, it's on. I think it's streaming on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because maybe very soon, maybe I'll give it a shot and rewatch the show.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that. It's easy to get through.
Yeah, but also, is there now? Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't there like an episode in Big Time Rush where basically one of the members fell in love with a girl that the other ones were trying to get him out because like she was making him do things that he didn't like, and also making him stop doing things that he liked, like for example eating corn dogs and things.
Yes.
Where basically the joke was that every time when she kissed him, it was basically always like enchant him or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I said, I remember glimpses of the show because, like I said, I used to watch it during my elementary school and high school years on the Italian channels, basically. And like I said, I remember like glimpses of it, and that's one of the things I do remember.
Yes, yeah, it's an easy show to get through. I mean, it's a really easy show to get through. Um, it's easy to binge watch. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, truth be told, I mean, like the question is like, do you like are the guys like from Big Time Rush? Are the guys like really into like going back to replay their characters?
I mean, it sounds
Because again, it's been a long time ever since the show ended.
I mean, I think they can. I think they can. I think they can. I'm going to be curious to see if what they do in the revival, if they go back in and play the same character, if they do like an updated version, or if they do like a completely new version. I'm going to be curious to see that.
Well, here's I think how it's going to happen, or no, actually, here's the thing: how I see it might actually go. If they continue doing it for Nickelodeon, if they go like if they continue going the Nickelodeon way, let's put it that way. If they go the Nickelodeon steps, then basically what's going to happen is they're going to play the same characters, but much more older, or like or / mature, basically.
Yes.
By the way, we have a new comment. Boyan, guys, do you know about unaired pilot Kurt Hansen that was originally casted as Kendall Knight? Me, no, but maybe TK knows.
Let me look. Yes. Yes. Yeah. He was. Yeah. And they actually had him guest star later. They had him guest star later in that season as like another singer, Dax Zevon. Yeah.
This is our someday. I suppose that's the name of the song.
I didn't realize that. I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, he did have a version of that. I mean, looking at the guy, I don't think he would have fit Kendall as well.
No, I mean I'm looking at him right now, and no, actually, I can't see him in that role. No, I mean he does have his looks and everything. He definitely has some charisma, but no, the face alongside comparing him with the others. No, I don't think he would fit the role. You can look on Air Pilot. This is our someday. Oh, so that's the name of the episode.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Maybe that was okay. That confused me. Okay. So.
Wait. Like, so it's the name of the unaired pilot. This is our someday, or it's the name of the song.
I think okay. Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know that. Okay, I learned something new. Okay, so it's the song.
Okay. Oh, okay, got it.
I get what it is now. So yes, so this is our someday. So first of all, that's one of Big Time Rush's best songs, and they just like release it as they just like release it like a bonus track of like their first album, like as a re-release. But so I didn't know this. So the original pilot was titled Brand New Day. And so at the end of the pilot episode, Big Time Rush for Griffin, they sing Big Time Rush. They sing their title song. That's like their first single. But apparently in the alternate pilot, they sing This Is Our Someday instead of Big Time Rush.
Okay, got it.
Apparently also they had different actors for Katie and Mrs. Knight then. But just looking at Kurt Hansen, he would not have fit. I
don't think so.
Because I remember reading about that. So he would not. I think part of why he was dropped was because he was too much like James.
Interesting.
I think he was cut because he looked too much like James, or there was something like they thought he would be more like in competition or something. I don't know exactly what that reason was, but I'll be honest, I don't think he would have fit as Kendall like at all. Just the look. Now, I mean, he was he's not a bad actor. I just don't think he would have fit. He would have meshed well.
No, it's perfectly fine. Sometimes even some great actors, sometimes they don't fit for every single character. They filmed the whole season, then they decided he was not good enough. Wow. They filmed the whole season? Really? I mean, a pilot is one thing, but the whole season, and then just simply recast him and then reshoot the whole thing? I don't know. Okay, Boyan just confirmed yes.
Huh.
Wow. I mean, if they actually did that, that is a bit mind-blowing. I mean, a whole season and then basically recast him and do the whole thing all over again. Wow. Tell me, TK, Sherlock Holmes, did you find anything?
I'm looking. Okay, so he was fired because he looked too old. Which I can kind of see. Which I can kind of see that. I mean, compared to the other ones, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. But did just like Boyan said, did they actually film the whole season?
But it doesn't sound like they filmed the whole season. Of course, the internet's wrong so much. So, but just but just going off of this, it says they filmed the pilot, but they did replace him on a couple songs. They did have a couple songs recorded.
Okay.
I'm just looking. I mean, they kind of I guess the thing I would compare that to is that reminds me of John Posey.
Yes, even guys said it. Even guys said in a Zach show.
Yeah, he would.
Or what is it called? Interesting.
Oh, I know what. Yeah, he played. So he came back later in Big Time Rush. He played Zach.
Zach Sang Show.
Zach Sang Show. Oh, okay, I see.
Well, I mean, at least he came back, but in a different role. Like at least they gave him a shot with another character in Big Time Rush.
Okay, I see what okay, I didn't know. Okay. But yeah, he also in Big Time Rush, he came back as like I forget if he was a competition singer. I'm gonna look it up. I think he was.
I love his voice, honestly. Yeah, okay. Good for
Yeah,
you.
his
Good for
voice
you,
isn't bad.
Juan.
His voice isn't bad. I just don't think it would have meshed well with. I just don't think it would have meshed well with the others. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because it would. I mean, if he hadn't been replaced, yeah, if he hadn't been replaced,
Oh, that's cool. That is
yeah,
cool.
if he hadn't been replaced, I mean, it's hard to say because he didn't. I don't. I mean, I've never really seen him like as a member of the group, so, but I don't know. I'm trying to picture him now. I don't know. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I guess he could have worked. Um, I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Yeah, but yeah, and also I just want to add, when we talked about if they ever do a big time rush revival, how it would look like, tone like and style and everything. Uh, I started to I started actually I started to talk about it, and then basically all the comments started to spread and everything. Uh, so, and I was trying to say to you, TK, that if they go the Nickelodeon direction, which it kind of actually might be a big chance they might actually go the same Nickelodeon direction, then I think like the style and everything, I think it's gonna be the same. The only difference will be basically maybe the story, and the guys will be like more mature and not as much as like loony, let's put it that way, or teenager like like they were in the original. But I don't think, as you mentioned actually, that you actually mentioned that several times. I don't believe that if they do a TV show, I mean a movie, you can do anything. But if you go back, doing a revival with a sitcom, I don't think they will change the overall tone and style, because
No,
it'll be too much of a bigger change for something that people embraced back in like ever since 2013.
yeah,
So yeah, so I don't think so. If they ever bring them back, I don't think they will change anything. When Boyan said, I don't know why they didn't decide 5 members band to give Kurt chance. They wasted 1 year for nothing. Well, I mean, Boyan, what can I say? Sometimes life can be cruel,
but
even in show business.
it makes you think of it makes you think of it makes you think of John Posey in Full House, how he was replaced as
Okay.
Danny. And I mean, now again, that was another thing that might have been harsh to replace the guy, but best decision they could have made. Because
Also,
if you watch that unaired pilot, which actually is on the Full House DVD set, and you see John Posey as Danny Tanner, no way that show would have gone 8 seasons and had a spinoff with John Posey as Danny Tanner. I mean, no way.
or even when they removed the little sister in Family Matters.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. A lot of people got mad about that, but for me personally, like it wasn't bad. I mean, because once it started centering more on Urkel, it kind of you don't really kind of miss her.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
But if Kurt Hansen was Kendall Schmidt, he would be bad boy in a show. If you didn't know, that was supposed to be Kendall, a bad boy.
yeah,
Okay, so okay, it looks like so in the early sketches, let's put it that way, or in the early draft of Big Time Rush, looks like Kendall was supposed to be a bad boy.
yeah. He was. I mean, for the most part, he was the one that kind of filled that role on the show. Um, but I mean, well, he was the one that because they even had an episode, Big Time Bad Boys. he was the one that they kind of like selected to fill that role, and I mean, he kind of begrudgingly at the end of the episode refilled, or he kind of begrudgingly at the end of the episode filled it. But see, now I'm trying to picture Kurt in that role.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
why are pick? Yeah, I mean that's why. I mean, like that's actually one of the reasons why. Yeah, I mean, I can see your point.
yeah, he does have the bad boy role.
But you can see clearly that Kurt is a bad boy.
Yeah, he does. He does have the
when
bad.
you look at him. Yeah, I mean, I get you.
Yeah, he does have that look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he would have.
I agree.
In terms of the whole bad boy element, he would have been like a better fit. I'm trying to picture now because that's interesting. Like in another universe where he was Kendall, I mean, that would I don't know.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
but anyway, true. Yeah, but
I think that's right. It could be. It might have been more mature, like it, because he did kind of seem like he might have been a little bit more mature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then again, it's it's Nickelodeon, and usually, they're not known for doing mature stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Nickelodeon.
Which kind of.
Yeah, they aren't really known for mature.
Yeah, I mean, and again, if they go the same Nickelodeon footsteps, I mean, like I'm telling you, do not expect like a mature, more serious tone on the Big Time Rush revival.
Although,
I mean, and also at the same time, sorry, I was going to say also at the same time, remember what you tried to say, and also at the same time, it'll be too much of a bigger change for like the fans of the old show. I mean, some people might make an excuse that why they could do this because they could try to embrace a wider audience, or more precisely, a new audience into it. But also at the same time, again, making so many different changes because of a new wider audience, you will lose, let's say the older, fans with and everything, So I don't know. I mean, I still think like, even if you go in the Nickelodeon way when it comes to like, sitcoms and everything, I think you can still bring some changes into the show, but still, keeping the same core, what made the original Big Time Rush the same.
Yes.
So I mean, again, if they ever do a Big Time Rush version where there's like a drama or tragedy, like for example, they're doing with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing, then it's going to have to be outside Nickelodeon. But since Big Time Rush is under Nickelodeon, even though it is under Paramount, but it's still primarily under Nickelodeon. So I don't think that I don't think you will see a Big Time Rush drama anytime soon.
Although one thing I will say is that iCarly they did at Paramount Plus, and that revival kind of worked. They kind of made it more mature.
Yes, but it still kept the same elements that kept the original iCarly effective.
So I mean, I would say from that standpoint, they could do sort of that with Big Time Rush.
Awkward silence.
Oh yeah, okay. When you hear, I'm trying to think. Yeah, see, that's a good point. What he just said. That's what I'd heard is that there was a similarity to James. There was some kind of similarity to James.
Yeah, but I think like, if they're going to bring them back, I think like it's going to still be the same type of comedy sitcom style like they did the original.
Yeah.
I've said that. I said it before, like several times during our live stream, that even if you do the revival thing, you can still bring some changes, even some like emotional moments, even like still keeping that same comedy style core that made the original TV show unique.
Yes,
you can
yeah.
still do that, even using the same elements.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you compare it to iCarly, yes, the revival for the most part it worked, but and yeah, sure, they made more mature. So when it comes to some of certain like plot points and subjects and topics, and like they made it, but they still kept the same core elements of the or should I say some the same certain core sitcom elements that made the original iCarly iconic.
Yes.
Yeah, because like some people, because when I researched a little bit about the whole revival theory thing, because it's not official. There are only talks, but some people are saying that that like they should turn it into, because they're older and everything, they should turn it into a drama or something serious. Like that they should move away from the sitcom and everything. Honestly, even if with little knowledge I have, that would be a really bad idea. Really bad idea. But after the band, Kurt was in Broadway and sing with Ariana Grande. Wow. If you didn't know, it's on his Instagram. Wow. That's impressive. Very impressive. Yeah. I mean, like, have you ever watched the new version of Fresh Prince from Bel-Air?
No, but I kind of want to go back and watch that.
No. I mean, did you watch the new series version?
No, I need to go back and I need to go back and binge that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about the sitcom. I'm talking about the. Yeah. I tried to binge it, but in the very first few episodes, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I should go back. I should watch it because I've only seen the original. I've never seen the new one, so I'm kind of curious. I mean, it never really drew my attention, but
I mean, the new version. I mean, the new version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It basically turned this iconic sitcom into a very typical telenovela / drama series. Like we basically, the story, the tone, the emotional, the angry moments, the plot twists, like, and everything. Basically, they used like they transformed the sitcom into something else, but that something else is basically something that people have already seen hundreds of thousands of times.
Yes.
And the reason why people are saying that Big Time Rush maybe will follow the same footsteps like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, honestly, that would be a big mistake, big mistake. And again, being under Nickelodeon umbrella, I don't think it will happen.
Yeah.
Because Nickelodeon, even if they are under Paramount, from when it comes to Nickelodeon's like basically projects and everything, like like I've heard somewhere that the Nickelodeon can be very protective of their projects.
Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Big Time Rush will have a new song for a show if they are going to do it? I think so. Yeah, I don't think that they're just simply gonna recycle the old songs and everything. I think there's definitely gonna be some new ones. I definitely think that they're gonna add some new ones. I mean, sure, they might add some original ones. Just kind of like put us down into like memory lane and everything. Kind of feel like nostalgic at all. But also at the same time, try to approach a new, wider audience. Most definitely, they're gonna have some new songs, 100%. So will it be similar to old songs, or I don't know? Maybe not. What do you think, TK? I mean, I'm gonna put the Boyan's question one more time. No, actually, wait. Okay, so he asked, "Do you think Big Time Rush will have new songs for the show if they're going to do it or not?
I think they probably will. Yes. I hope, like I said earlier, I hope that if they do, I hope they do lean into a more like acoustic direction. Because I think they
So
are.
so okay. So before I go to his last latest comment, I will put this one. So will it be similar to old songs or?
Yeah. I think that's a good question. I mean, I kind of hope not. I kind of hope they do something different, like something like original. They do like new material. I kind of hope they lean more into the acoustic direction because I think their voices are more suited for acoustic.
How do you know to say my name that good? It's a gift, Boyan. It's a gift.
Um, yeah,
Okay.
yes, I
I
agree with. Yeah, the newer songs are so the predating the Another Life album. That's right. The newer songs I don't think really hit as well. Now like the singles they released from 2021 to 2022, I thought those were good. Um, I think what I liked really was how they re-recorded Paralyzed, which I think they didn't have the right. I think part of the reason they didn't have.
Well, Boyan, you're in luck. You have landed on a live stream with the right guys.
um,
Oh yeah.
so they re-recorded Paralyzed in 2022, I think. And or real big time Rush fans will know it's not Paralyzed, it's Pair of Eyes. However, anyhow, they re-recorded that song because I think the original version of it they didn't have the rights to or something. I don't completely understand that, but so they re-recorded that and then they did acoustic versions of some of their songs. Those singles that they put out, I thought were their best, like of their new material. So I would lean more into an acoustic direction because I think he's right. The Boyan's right. The the newer stuff isn't as good. Although they did uh two Spanglish songs, which I don't think was bad, which I don't think were bad, but yeah, no, overall their newer stuff is not as strong as some of their previous material. Um So I think that if they do new music in this new show, if they do a new album outside of the new show, whatever they do, I think they have to do something more experimental with their album, acoustic, do something different than they did with this last one. Because the last one, I mean, as far as the revival goes, I give them credit for their moxie for like attempting it,
Mhm.
because it's bold to do that, especially when everybody else is doing it. Um, but I think they need to step it up now, and they need to do something to set themselves apart and to kind of like make people like catch people's attention.
Well, honestly, the way how I see it, I think if the revival does happen, if the revival does happen, I would say it is going to be like a musical buffet. What I mean by that is basically I think the show will contain original songs, new songs they made before the revival, and those are going to be songs that are basically part of the revival. So I think like it's going to be a mixture of everything.
I also hope that they do a song with Stephen Kramer Glickman. He would That would be cool.
Do you know where my name is from? If you know how to say it. Well, I would say this, including myself. My guess would be you're somewhere in the Mediterranean era. or should I say Mediterranean area? Maybe Balkan. Who knows?
You said
Yeah! Yippee!
Ooh, Lord of
Oh.
Shadows. Oh boy.
But what country? In Balkans. Okay, like I said. Okay, Balkans. Okay, thank you for the clue. Well, I mean, with that name, probably the same country where I come from, Croatia. I mean, just a guess. Now let's see what Boyan is going to say.
I'm really curious.
We shall see. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be anywhere. It could be any of the countries in Balkans. So, Jel moguće. Okay, so okay. Basically, in translation, it means could it be possible? That's basically what he said. Yeah. Or just simply, in short, could it be? Oh,
Okay.
from Serbia. Okay. Okay. Well, look at this. We have a viewer from Serbia. Yay to us! Look at this. Look at this, TK. We're going international.
Yeah.
We have people from the United States. Now we have people from. Oh. Okay. What is chance? Okay. What is chance that you are from Croatia? Well, since I was born there, I would say 100%. Or in racing terms, 10-1. Look at us, TK. We are like in the frigging international now. Oh man, this is great. This is great. Anyway, where were we? Yeah. I mean, do you have anything more to add?
I don't think so.
I mean, we went all over the place.
Yeah.
So,
There's one thing I should mention.
Go ahead.
So one thing about Big Time Rush is Mephisto is not in it.
That is basically the most positive and nicest thing you ever said ever since we started the Shadow Council.
I had to figure out a way to get Mephisto in.
Bloody hell. You know, I thought like, you know, if I told you that he was in Ironheart, I thought like finally I'm going to get some rest. But no. Was I wrong? Bloody wrong. Oh my God. You know, I mean, sometimes I wonder if you love Mephisto so much, why the fuck do you not dress up as him during Halloween? So you live in America or what? Well, he does, not me.
I could dress up as.
I mean, if I mean, let's be honest, Boyan. If we both lived in America, we wouldn't have split screen. Well, unless we live in different cities, but yeah, that's a different matter.
Yeah, and also if we both lived in America, he would have killed me by now.
Oh, God. Oh man, I mean, saying Mephisto all this bloody time. I mean, like, of course I would have killed you.
Yeah, he would have killed me by now. There are so many things I've said on this live stream over the past years that
I mean, I don't even need to make a deal with Mephisto. I don't even need to like free wishes. I would have done it as a freebie.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last year, whatever, I said that what I insinuated that you had children trapped in your basement that you wanted to kill me.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, we all have a sort of darker sense of humor sometimes, but like you really take the cup home.
Our friend FRC, I think, probably wants to kill me.
Oh yeah, especially with so many bath jokes.
Poor FRC.
Yep.
We love
Yep.
you, FRC.
If you're watching this, yeah, we love you, mate. We love you. I mean, I love you platonically. I don't know about him.
Yeah. No, we love you platonically.
I mean, for me, I'm sure I do. For you, I don't know.
I do love the bath, though.
That's for sure. I mean, that's why I can see you're so shiny, sparklingly clean. By the way, I'm being sarcastic right now.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I think we went through all of this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's time to basically move on. It's time to shut down this Shadow Council's episode. Yep. Okay, guys. All of you out there, here we are. We came to another end of another Shadow Council episode. Episode 43, Big Time Rush. As always, you guys know the drill, the tradition. Rate the video, comment, like, subscribe. Give me your personal thoughts and ideas or feelings about Big Time Rush in general. What did you thought about the sitcom? Did you grow up with them watching it, or how were you ever introduced? Basically, everything about Big Time Rush in general, just put it in the comment section down below. Also, at the same time, if you wish to see previous Shadow Council episodes, they're going to be in the video description down below as well. But until then, stay tuned for more. Have the rest of the day, as positive as possible. And before I finish, I didn't grow up. Okay. Thank you for the answer. Okay. Here I am, as always, Lord of Shadows, signing off.
TK, the lucky bastard, out.
And as always, later, fuckers.